So I got a base model Bronco and it didn't come with heated seats, which I really thought wasn't that big of a deal, and I made it through almost an entire Wisconsin winter without them, perfectly fine. Then I borrowed my buddy's Bronco, which does have heated seats, and I thought, yeah, I probably should have got heated seats. So I looked into options for aftermarket, and then I found Katzkin, and I've used them in the past, and I thought that's probably the best way to go. They kind of are the specialists when it comes to aftermarket leather seats, and you can add heated seats and cooled seats and all that. And then I discovered that we're looking at about a $2,000 price tag to put heated leather seats in the Bronco, and I couldn't justify that. What I did find, though, was these Mabett seat covers, which look kind of actually really similar to when they first kind of threw the new Bronco out there. They showed some previews of what it might look like, and the seats look a lot like that, and I really like those. So these were like $200 on Amazon. I got an open box for 200 bucks. That was a deal. So I grabbed those, and then I also found a universal heated seat kit for like $80, and I thought, well, I kind of halfway know what I'm doing when it comes to wiring, so I'll give it a shot. Now, the installation process was pretty straightforward. If you have mild electrical experience and decent attention to detail, I think you can handle it just fine. So these heated seat pads are designed to be installed within your OEM seats, but obviously I was going to put these seat covers on anyway, and I thought it'd be a cleaner install if I don't have to take apart my stock seats. I can just put them in with the seat covers, and then it's kind of more of a temporary thing. If it doesn't work out, I don't like them, or they break, or they fall apart in a year, whatever the case may be. So that's what I ended up doing. So if you're putting these in your OEM seats, obviously you have to remove your stock seat coverings. But in my case, I removed the Mabett seat covers that I already had installed, and then simply used the adhesive backing on these pads, as well as some extra tape and some Velcro, because I had that stuff laying around, and I didn't want them to shift around at all. I thought that would be very important, that they don't move, because I didn't want them to get bunched up and then be uncomfortable to sit on, and I didn't want to go through all of that. So I made sure they were really, really secure in place. I also like that these are oversized, so it goes kind of like all the way up, almost to my shoulder height on the back of the seat, and it covers the entire seat bottom. So that was perfect there as far as fitment goes on the sizing. Now for wiring, I tucked everything through. The wires come out underneath on the bottom of the seat there, and then I was able to run the power. So I chose to install the switches in the center console area. Now this is a two-door, so I have some blank space by my window switches. I thought that would be the perfect location for the heated seats, and it worked out quite well. So I just used a step bit to make sure I had the right size hole and had a nice firm fitment on the switches for the heated seats, and then all of the wiring and the relays and the fuse and whatnot can be all tucked inside of the center console. I didn't have to remove the center console in its entirety. I was able to just use a pry tool to remove that little window switch plate cover, and then as far as running the wire to an actual power source, on the bottom I was able to just push the center console away from the floor enough that I could get my fingers through there to push some wires through or push the plugs through, and then route that wiring. So for power, I went into the fuse box, which is located underneath the steering wheel in the Bronco, and I tapped into a spare fuse. In selecting where you pull power from, it's important that you're choosing a circuit that turns on with the vehicle and then off when the vehicle turns off. I also made sure that I found one that would be powered on when I used the remote start, so that just like if this was a OEM equipped heated seat Bronco, when you remote start it, your heated seats will come on too, so long as you left the switch in the on position from when you parked it. Now the way that I did this is not great, but I needed to just see if it was going to work as far as where I was pulling power from. So this is kind of a temporary thing, but I made a little jumper so I could plug it into the fuse location, added another inline fuse, and then ran the power from that spare fuse back to the relays that control the heated seats. Overall, the installation process really was not all that complicated. I would say while figuring things out and installing it, it probably took me maybe 2.5 hours, maybe a little less than that. I wasn't keeping track, and I also had filmed things as I go, but totally worth it. These things are awesome. For 80 bucks, can't believe I didn't do this sooner. I love the way the seats look with the Mabett seat covers, and now they also are nice and toasty warm, so that's great. These heated seats do have a high and a low function, and they are very, very hot. Definitely comparable to what you'd find OEM from a manufacturer. So this isn't made to be a complete step-by-step install guide by any means for the heated seats, but if you have questions on it, you're welcome to ask. I'll be happy to answer them. I did not think it was too hard of a project to tackle. People on forums made it seem like it was going to be impossible or a complete pain in the butt, but by using the aftermarket seat covers, I think that really made this job super, super easy.